Hello everyone, back again after what is almost too long of a hiatus. Football Premier Podcast വീണ്ടും സ്വാഗതം. This time, as you can see in the video, we have a very special guest on our show. He is a regular, but he is special today because all give it up for Srijit Shankar, who is World 293 at this point in time. Steady run to the top, and we hope he goes all the way to the top. So, Srijit in the house. Our resident expert Abhi is also in the house. Not that far away from Srijit, but in terms of how the ranks drop off, right? So he's at
Oh, thanks
157.
way back.
Ranks are way back, but not that far away in points. So 157k is where Abhi is at. And just to make you feel very normal, here I am with 571k also chugging along. So let's see how this goes. So Namla, we are here now talk about the next 3 game weeks as a group because it's crucial set of fixtures is coming up. Game week 26, which is coming up this Saturday, is a massive double game fixture with many teams having 2 games. Then you have game week 27, where you have only City and Southampton featuring double games, and that this will lead on to 29, which is like a massive blank game week where only 8 teams are going to feature across 4 fixtures, right? So, what do we do? How do we handle this? And this is what we're going to talk about. So we'll start first with our man of the hour, Srijit Shankar. Srijit, heck of a run, 293. We would love to see you go all the way to the top, or however far we can get with this, right? So, what would you say has been your approach, which got you to where you are, and what is it your approach going to be going forward?
So the approach has been very simple. Picked up a few good assets and then they just fired. So it's like I do this every other season, but this season seems to be working in my favor. The other thing is we started this podcast this season, so that has made me read and research a lot of who's injured. The two things that I've done differently this season is one is spend. I used to crib a lot, but I used to not spend the time actually doing a proper research. My research was reaching out to a B, asking who, A versus B, who is a better player. The second thing which I did this season was, not follow the last game week's highest scorer and just pick that guy. Rather, stick to my guns on what I wanted to do, and unless there is an injury or a COVID situation, just go with whoever I decided to pick or go with my captain choices. So I think so far it has worked. It's when I reached top 50k, I thought this was it. This itself is a big deal. Then thereafter, it's just gone better. So yeah.
So we love it. We love to see that, and we'd like to see how far this goes. It's still, a crucial set of fixtures, as Abhi will point to. So
Right.
coming over to Abhi, like, what are your thoughts in these next coming 3 weeks? Like, it's probably crucial for almost all of the managers who are playing this game seriously, right? Because it's probably going to be make or break because a lot of challenges thrown up, lot of mixtures, lot of fixtures to navigate, right? So broadly, what is your thinking, Abhi, in terms of how you're going to navigate 26, 27, I mean, and 29?
Well, point being, as you rightly said, with all these fixtures coming in, you're going to see a lot of rotation that is bound to happen. Plus, with all these teams having double game weeks, it actually makes sense to use a bench boost chip, kind of prioritize that upfront. Because I'm pretty sure that unlike other periods, you're bound to get at least 14 to 15 people on the bench if you plan pretty well. So if you use a bench boost, that is going to work out. Triple captain, I'm not very sure because with all these rotations, you might see players not getting 90 minutes in every game. That may not be the thing. So bench boost is a chip which I would kind of use right now. Again, though, I would kind of wait till the last minute to figure out who's playing, who's not playing. If I have a doubt, I would kind of remove them out. But I think this is a pretty good time to kind of get a lot of points on board and then maybe move up your mini leagues or something like that. So this is a pretty good time for that.
Right. So
So if you had triple Leeds assets, which many of the people had, right? So and Leeds have only one game. So if you had triple Leeds asset and you have planned your way such that you have 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 double game weekers, it's a pretty good time, as Abhi said, to use your bench boost, provided obviously you have one, because Leeds are playing a Villa team without Jack Grealish, most probably based on what Dean Henderson said. Looks like he's doubtful for the Leeds one. So that should be a good. And Leeds are a team who can score against any team. So it doesn't really matter who the opposition is. The only good part in this fixture is that since Grealish is not there, their attacking potential is kind of limited. So it could mean some returns for the Leeds defense options as well.
Yeah. So I think to that point, right? And Leeds, those who have tripled up on Leeds, you should probably hang on to them for a while, because 29, they are one of those 8 teams which will play, and they play Fulham.
Right.
So that's a pretty juicy fixture for you to keep them on. So do not tank them just because they're going to stop having double games. Circling back, Abhi, to your point about this is a game week primed for bench boost. I think that's exactly what I'm doing now. So when I looked at my team, I already had enough players who were expected to feature in both the weeks. And then I had like 2 or 3 players who are never going to play, right? So my strategy going into this week has been to make sure I have 15 players who will definitely feature in 1 or maybe 2 games, and I am playing my bench boost. So that kind of makes sure that the -8 I take will at least be countered by the bench, hopefully. I had used my free hit in game week 18, and that was a hard lesson for me because I thought that I'll make a big difference, and Abhishek right here walked all around my full 11-man squad with his 7 people that he fielded, and he got more points on the game week. Yeah, he had 5 or 6.
He had 6. Yeah, he had 6.
And he walked all over my squad. So that's when I learned, okay, maybe I should have hung on to that free hit for game week 29. So now my situation is that I'm going to be picking up players who are going to be featuring on 29, so that I have enough players for game week 29, and then reset everything, go for the big finish in game week 30 with my wild card. So that's my thinking going forward. And folks that who have had similar chip situations or wildcard situations, maybe you can look at it that way, unless your squad needs major surgery, so to speak, right? One question that everyone should have in their minds right now, because it is a double game week, and I think Abhi kind of addressed that a little bit. Triple captain, viable or too risky to attempt at this time? What is your thoughts, Srijit?
So initially my plan was, this was the week I was going to use my triple captain, and if you look on paper, right, don't go by the last 4 or 5 games. Fulham was not a great team defensively, and Spurs were expected to hit a few goals against them. I think Spurs have the easiest 2 fixtures on paper, right? But unfortunately, Spurs is in a string of poor starts, and Fulham has improved defensively tremendously, right? They've had a couple of clean sheets, and Areola has been a standout goalkeeper with respect to the number of chances saved and all that. So I am not so sure anymore. If you really want a differential pick, right? This is what I am thinking on my mind is. Everton has very good fixtures. If you look at after Spurs, who has the best fixtures, it has to be Everton. And DCL is a good shout out, and he is my insurance against Kane. I'm not able to bring in Kane. I'm not able to. I don't have the value to get him in. So I have DCL, and I'm thinking he will work out. Whether or not I end up using the triple captain is difficult, because I don't know which other game week I can use him. Unfortunately, both Salah and Fernandes, who are sure shots, nailed on to play both the game weeks, right? Apart from Son and Kane, are both having Chelsea, and Lampard Chelsea, I would have gone ahead and used my triple captain, but it's a new Chelsea, defensively greatly improved. So as Abhishek said, not a great week on paper, at least for a triple captain.
Yeah. And my own thoughts around triple captaining, I think I'm going to do that towards the tail end of the season, when teams have a lot to play for. Like, they're fighting for positions, they have to win. They have to win by so many goals to, make the difference in the league tables. That is something that you have to keep in mind. So, moving on, talking about the immediate week. So who are your captaincy picks? Abhi, starting with you.
I'm seriously thinking of Bruno Fernandes. I was initially priming for KDB, but I'm not really convinced. I've not seen him in action for extended periods. I'm still, I was actually looking at KDB thinking that he's going to get an advance row. I saw him against Arsenal. I was not really convinced, and I could see that Gundogan was still playing an advance row. So KDB, I kind of moved him out. The other person I would think about is Bruno, because I don't think he's going to get the entire minutes, but with whatever he's going to get, he's going to get points. You're basically assured of a goal, maybe even an assist or so. And I think he has 2 games as well this week, so
Yeah.
Yes.
it's a good punt. Bruno is actually a safe option that I would certainly pick. If not for Bruno, then I think maybe you would still be fine with going with somebody from Leicester, maybe a Madison or maybe a Barnes as a differential option for a captain in case you want to steal a march on your mini leagues. That's another option that you might want to consider.
Finally, around the table, quick call. What would your differential picks? I think Abhi, you mentioned Barnes. Anybody else who stands out? Differentials?
I think one player that kind of interests me a lot is Luca Dini, so from Everton. So I see that he's picking a lot of advanced positions. I think last game he was actually playing as part of the front three or something. He was on the wings. He was not even on as playing as a left back. He's a player that I'm pretty much interested in, and if I happen to take a wild card this week, I think he'll be one of the first names on the list. I would kind of. I'm not very sure about the Spurs assets. So I was initially thinking of Son, but they look pretty jaded, don't they? I don't think I may not even consider any of the Spurs assets. And obviously, as I said, Madison or Barnes. These are the folks that come to my mind immediately. And if I'm short of funds, then maybe I might take a punt on Watkins, Oli Watkins from Aston Villa. He's not somebody who's performing pretty well, but maybe I don't know. Maybe this could be the week that he performs. You never know.
But
And you also have to know that
without Grealish, right? So we have to see whether
Sure.
that is worth the punt. If Grealish is on, I think it's a worthy punt.
True. There's another thing that you might want to consider that Aston Villa have a lot of fixtures that they're yet to play. I think
Yep.
they're behind by a lot of things.
Yeah.
So if you're taking a wild
They
card
play in
and
29 as well. They play in 29 as well. Yes.
Correct. So if you think from a long-term perspective, why not? You might even take him. He's going to get those 2 points at least minimum in game week 29.
Right.
And if you're taking a wild card, just go for it. You never know.
Yeah. So, Srijit, your thoughts? Any differentials that folks chasing the pack should look at?
So one thing that Ben said is that it's a very probable chance that Everton doubles up on game week 28. So again, I was thinking the same lines as Abhi. So I've been trying to figure out how to get KDB, but if I can't, then I am going to go from. I still have an injured James Justin in my team, and I have about 1.3 in the bank. So my plan was to get Cancelo for this and the next game week. I'm sure he doesn't play 4 games, but I'm hoping he plays at least 3, and he gets some kind of a return. And then before 28, I jump on to Luca Dini. So that is my plan as of now. I'm not sure. The thing with Everton is they are not great defensively in not conceding goals. And this is a good week that way because the teams they are facing are not very convincing from a goal threat perspective. So so that's that. Other than that, if you can't afford, I think Seamus Coleman is another shout out. If you can't afford, Luca Dini because he's 6.1, it's kind of expensive. I have I have done a great something that I don't advise, but I'm doing it off late because of the fund situation. Sometimes because a lot of people are going to jump on. So I took before even Rafinha played the last game, I shipped him out and I got Harvey Barnes because I was convinced that and I wanted to. It was not just for this week because I wanted to keep him on the long term. So I was okay with taking that punt, and I have Dallas and Bamford. So I'm okay with 2 players. So I took that punt. So so Harvey Barnes is another player I'm hoping to give me some returns this week.
Okay. And speaking of, right, for both the options that we're looking at, Dinia, Barnes, and if you are, somebody who is at this point in the season where you are running short of funds and trying to find players who play, target your Fulham defenses because they have been keeping clean sheets for a while now, and the defenders are actually popping up with some goals here and there. So Aina, Adarabio, Anderson. So all these guys are actually suddenly looking very, very attractive at a sub 4.5 price point. So if you are wildcarding, I would seriously advise you to take a look at them and also Areola, right?
And if you're still short of funds, kick out Musala.
I did that. I have done that actually. I have taken the risky option of ditching Salah for KDB actually. On the other side, right? You're talking about Everton having good fixtures and possibly a double fixture on 28. Once again, if you're running short on funds and unable to afford Dinia, right? I would seriously say take a look at Mason Holgate, take a look at Ben Godfrey, and maybe even Michael Keane because Michael Keane pops up on your set pieces here and there. You never know when you get a goal from him. So these are folks that keep an eye on. If you ever have to get an Everton player and not able to afford Dinia, these are folks for you. So that will be my broad differential thinking that I am thinking at this point of time. So there you have it, folks. That's where we are at right now. And I think Srijit has been holding up his watch saying, man, we are running on time. So yes, we are. So we'll wrap it up right here. See you the next week. Hopefully we are back on a regular schedule. Join our mini league. See if you have what it takes to beat Srijit, right? So good luck for everyone for all.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Good luck. Bye.